shoot at cops. You shoot at cops, we're going to run you over.
A stark warning and a deadly outcome in Porterville.
Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Kimberly Preciado.
And I'm Brandon Sandoval. That warning came moments after a violent standoff in Porterville came to a deadly, heartbreaking end. Communities and law enforcement agencies around the valley are showing support from Tulare County Sheriff's Office after Deputy Randy Hopper was killed in action last week. The suspect was also killed, getting ran over by a bearcat with the Kern County Sheriff's Department. Porterville Police and other nearby police departments are helping with investigations and patrol operations, while 34 Tulare County Sheriff's Office deputies are on leave. Also, 100% of ticket sales for tomorrow's Visalia Rawhide game will go directly to benefit Hoppert's family.
Tomorrow we begin healing. We get to grieve. We're going to grieve. And grieving is a process.
Deputy Hoppert will be laid to rest on April 28th. A public viewing will be held the day before.
A special election is coming this summer in Northern California since Congressman Eric Shawwell resigned following sexual assault accusations. The District 14 representative was running for governor of California until 4 women accused him of misconduct from sexual harassment to rape. He is denying the claims but resigned from Congress officially on Monday, pulled out of the governor's race last week. The special election to replace him begins on our primary in June. The special election is on August 18th.
Tensions in the Middle East are escalating. The U.S. launched a full naval blockade, cutting off passage to the Strait of Hormuz, a critical oil route for Iran. Vice President J.D. Vance was in Pakistan amid failed peace talks and rising conflicts. And Israel is expanding strikes into Lebanon, prompting Hezbollah's leader to threaten in retaliation.
Gas prices have been on a roller coaster since the war began. Olivia Paval dives into why we are paying more at the pump.
Gas prices are skyrocketing across the country because of the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East. And here locally, commuter students are paying the price.
It does affect every student. As we see the parking lot, there is tons of cars, and I'm sure a lot of students commute from several places.
Last year, 94% of Fresno State students lived off-site and commuted to campus. But those students can't afford to miss class over the cost of a gallon of gas.
According to AAA, gas prices jumped to an average of over $4 for the first time since 2022.
$1 more than when the war began. That's going to cost me. The global conflict isn't the only reason why our gas prices are the highest in the nation right now.
We're switching from that cheaper winter blend to the more expensive summer blend. They also got to keep in mind those refineries are closing, so this could be the new normal for California, but it all depends on how long the conflict lasts for.
But there are steps drivers can take to avoid tanking their fuel economy, like obeying the speed limit.
But if you start to go the speed limit, it can really help your fuel economy save from anywhere from 7 to 14%.
Other quick fixes AAA suggests: checking your tire pressure, removing excess weight from your trunk, and using navigation apps to cluster errands and avoid rush hour traffic. You can also download an app to track gas prices for you.
Pay attention to what gas prices are, not only where you live and where you're going, but also what you're traveling through.
Tools like these can help drivers find the cheapest fill-up, but they can't lower the base price at the pump.
So if it feels like we're paying more than everyone else, you're not wrong. Californians are dealing with several unique regulatory issues. The state's gas tax is over 60 cents per gallon, built directly into the price at the pump. And although some offshore oil drilling has resumed off the Santa Barbara coast, California still relies heavily on imports. Some experts say local output from a single pipeline is unlikely to ease gas prices. NASA is turning its focus to the next Artemis mission after a successful trip around the moon. The next step is Artemis 3, set for 2027, which will test docking systems in Earth's orbit with lunar landers. Those landers are being developed by SpaceX and Blue Origin. NASA hopes to eventually launch missions every 6 months, making lunar travel more frequent and affordable.
At Fresno State, you don't have to leave the campus to explore the stars. I went to the Downing Planetarium to show you how it's able to bring space a little closer to home.
I know that these two are quartz. They both come from Mexico.
Tucked away on campus is the key to the stars in Fresno. The Downing Planetarium is home to many scientific curiosities.
Alright, so the main way that this one works is the same way as any... I'm an instructional student assistant, so basically I help run the planetarium in however shape or form I can.
Andres Tutliers is in charge of conducting school field trips and sparking children's minds.
You really want to incentivize as much as you can to the young ages.
While the planetarium is targeted to students, it serves anyone who wants to learn about our solar system.
Public, and we are here not just to serve our students, but also to serve the public in general, and that we have resources for the public.
But for Professor Dan Brown, the facility can spark a desire in students to pursue science majors.
I think it's really good just because it'll spark that interest in science.
The planetarium has many different devices for the children who come here on their field trips to interact with, such as this lightning globe right here, where if you hold your hand on the globe like this, you can see a little bit of purple right there, and if you touch your hand on this metal sign, you can feel a little zap on your finger there. But there is still spark and passion inside Andres, who will continue to inspire all who take a trip to the stars.
We have a Tesla coil in there, we have a dinosaur casting, we have a lot of things that you can just remember one of them forever. Yeah.
In the Downing Planetarium, Brandon Sandoval, Fresno State Focus.
The planetarium is currently hosting public programs one weekend a month on Friday nights and Saturday afternoons.
Fresno neighborhoods are facing a growing gap in tree coverage, impacting air quality, heat, and public health. Now, one local program is working to close that gap by giving away free trees. Joseph Malcolm digs into what the program has to offer.
In South Central Fresno, tree-lined streets are not a guarantee. Some neighborhoods have far fewer trees than other areas in town, leading to hotter temperatures and poorer air quality where there are no trees. The Adopt a Tree program is working to change that by offering free trees to people in certain zip codes.
So that is something that we're trying to do with this program, is try to distribute more trees, especially due to issues within the valley that has to do with air quality issues and pollution.
The team from the Justice Network has found in their research that there is an unequal amount of greenery between North and South Fresno.
And we do see more trees and a larger urban canopy in North Fresno. And again, that can be a cause of funding.
Communities with more trees will naturally benefit the air quality in the area they are planted because of the carbon dioxide they absorb. Trees play a huge role in the air that's all around us. Take this one tree, for example, that just got planted. Just one tree can absorb 48 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. Take 10 trees, and that's 500 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. Beyond oxygen, trees reduce extreme heat and improve overall health, especially in communities with limited green space. The Adopt a Tree program is making sure that everyone can benefit from trees. In the Tower District in South Fresno, Joseph Malcolm, Fresno State Focus.
Applications are now open. Go to FresnoStateFocus.com for the link. April is National Volunteer Month. The Richter Center on campus helps to organize community engagement and service events for students.
Lauren Avila joins us now with what the center is putting together this year.
Here with Celeste Jones, a graduate student pursuing an MFA in creative writing. She serves as the president of the Richter Center Student Leaders. Thank you so much for joining me, Celeste.
Thank you.
So for anyone who doesn't know, can you tell me a little bit about the types of events that the Richter Center organizes?
Yeah, the Richter Center organizes so many events, ranging from blood drives to one-day service events. They could be at Poverello House, Scout Island, alternative spring breaks. Just a ton, an absolute ton, yeah.
Wow, those all sound really interesting.
Yeah.
So how would somebody get involved? How do students get involved?
Yeah, so the Richter Center has a pretty good team that promotes its stuff on Instagram, and we post almost daily different events that are happening on campus and in our community that students can see. And if people aren't like Instagram savvy, we also have a newsletter called the Epicenter.
Oh, nice. So do you think that there's an impact that's like, there's an actual change that students are making, and what does that look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, I could speak about the change that my programs have done recently. For the past 2 years, I've planned alternative spring break at Scout Island, where we've built education sites, environmental education sites for kids. And we got a stat that 27,000 students visit yearly and go through those sites and get to further their education. And that's just one event that we do, and there are multiple every week.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Celeste. I hope that other people were inspired by this talk. Thank you so much.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, dry land means fertile ground for fire. How can you help reduce the risk?
Plus, Fresno State is prepping for Vintage Days. Check out the bands you could rock out to this year.
The valley is warming up for the weekend, but then cools off again. Your 7-day forecast is coming up next.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
This just in. Fresno State is gearing up for the biggest event of the year, Vintage Days.
That's right. The campus is about to transform into a festival of fun.
Here at Vintage Days, you'll once again find live entertainment, delicious foods, and even a beer and wine garden.
And don't forget the Kids Zone, the Anime Gaming Con, and the Crafts Fair.
And the best part, free admission and parking.
Join us April 17th to the 19th at Fresno State.
Jerry Hawker back with your weather, and we're going to start out with a look at our beauty shot from over gorgeous Fresno State campus. It's a mostly sunny day with some wispy cirrus clouds overhead, which will help reflect the solar energy, keeping you from getting too hot out there. Taking a look at our funnel cloud footage from last Friday's tornado warning in parts of Madera and Fresno County. This funnel cloud was sighted 7 miles east of Firebaugh. Now, it was close to a tornado, but not quite, because it didn't touch down. No finger to touch down, but it did get close. Thank goodness it didn't do that. Taking a look at our national satellite, there's a cold front moving in to the eastern seaboard here. Now, it's being fueled by this precipitation and this storm pushing up from the Gulf, up from Texas, up north there, and it's going to create frost by next weekend. Looking at our western satellite now, we have our own little cold front pushing in from the Pacific Ocean here. That water vapor is cooling down as it reaches dew point temperature, going to create some snow in Idaho and the other northern states there. Moving on to today's highs, looking at mid-70s for most of the Central Valley here, 74 Madera, 75 in Fresno, 76 in Hanford. And in the foothills, looking at the mid-40s there. The lows are going to be in the 50s and 40s, 51 here in Fresno and Kings County, 50 in Hanford, 44 Madera, Mariposa, and 33 in Shaver Lake. We're looking at mostly great air quality here throughout the Central Valley, except for Kern County. Put on a mask, guys, just kidding. All right, so for our 7-day forecast, we're looking at a sunny Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny on Saturday and Sunday. Then we're looking at a good chance of precipitation on Monday and Tuesday, followed out by a partly cloudy day on Wednesday. And that's your look at weather. Thanks, guys.
The next few months are going to be hot and dry, which means there's a higher chance that fires will happen around Fresno. Lauren Aiello tells us how people can work with the fire department to prevent fires from happening in their area.
This time of year, spot fires pop up around Fresno County. Areas with dry brush and tall weeds mixed with the high winds makes homes and businesses at risk for fires.
If this were ignited over on this side with the wind going that direction, it's going to blow all those like sparks and flames and everything this way toward our building.
Biglione says that if a fire were to happen in her area, it would be catastrophic.
It's going to take out my whole operation, and that sort of thing takes a while to get back going again. So quite possibly I would have to unemploy 90 people until we got our feet back on the ground.
These weeds where I'm standing go right above my knees, and that's actually a really big fire hazard for the city of Fresno. Some ways firefighters can help reduce this hazard are through practices like weed abatement, where they will cut down on these weeds to help slow the spread of the fire. CAL FIRE works with people in Fresno County to help clean up dry brush around their properties to slow possible fires from spreading.
So looking to make sure the clearance for the 100 feet around each structure, the overhang of your branches, the roofs, just looking for anything that could intensify a wildland fire or help spread a wildland fire.
In California, weeds must be cut down to 4 inches or less to prevent fires from spreading.
That's why we try to encourage, and it is the law, to make sure that your grass is cut down.
Keeping dry brush and weeds around your area maintained is the best way to reduce the chance of a fire from getting out of hand. In Fresno, Lauren Aiello, Fresno State Focus.
Make sure you keep your weeds in check, and if you see any excessive dry brush or tall weeds, call the city or county fire department. With ongoing concerns about the fire conditions, students are still finding ways to enjoy outdoor events on campus. Fresno State's biggest spring tradition is back this weekend. Vintage Days runs Friday through Sunday, bringing good eats, live entertainment, and lots of student-run booths. The 3-day festival is free to attend and open for all. Parking is free all weekend. The main entrance is at Shaw and Maple. There's also a free shuttle from the Maple roundabout available for those with disabilities.
Live music will be taking center stage. Fresno-based band In Spite is performing at the Pit on campus. That's right there at the University Student Union. In Spite performs tomorrow.
I'm actually really happy that we get to play here. This is kind of a cool spot, and to play here in the middle of the day when I know there'll be a lot of students around in general is going to be really cool.
And with more performances expected, the energy on campus is only building. In Spite is one of many bands playing for Vintage Days this year. Paloma Schuler takes you inside another band's journey, War Scream, and what they're bringing to Fresno State's biggest spring tradition.
We are War Scream from Fresno, California, a thrash metal band.
From loud guitars to pounding drums, War Scream is bringing their signature sound to the stage at Fresno State for Vintage Days.
That's weird. Keep going faster than the fucking... Well, I will tell you and not be disappointed. Definitely come out. We're very friendly. We love seeing everybody's smiles when they come out to watch us. It's a very nice community to be a part of, and we enjoy seeing our friends like Jinx perform. And yeah, come out, watch us play. We guarantee you guys will have a good time.
For War Scream, this performance is more than just another show. It's a chance for the thrash community to connect with local bands through heavy metal.
And if you like heavy metal bands like Ozzy Osbourne or, oh my god, my voice is so fucking nasty, my bad.
So we won't be the only ones playing. Our friends Jinx will also be playing, I believe, the same day, April 19th at 12 p.m. So it's kind of like a double feature, but I'd say everybody coming to Vintage Days should come out and support all the artists.
After seeing those other bands perform, War Scream became determined to make the stage their own.
In just a few days on April 19th, War Scream will be here on campus at Fresno State to make their first ever debut and perform at Vintage Days alongside other local bands like Jinx and In Spite.
With live music from bands like War Scream.
War Scream takes the stage on Sunday at 3. And just a quick reminder, Vintage Days runs throughout the weekend with events open to students and the public.
A Fresno State music group is traveling to South Korea this summer to perform. I spoke to the members of Invicta to learn more about what this means for their journey in music.
At Fresno State, 4 student musicians are preparing for a performance that is a dream come true. One late night, months after an audition, they received some good news.
I was way too tired to really get a sense of how crazy the moment was. But once I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to Korea.
Invicta is one of only 5 groups across the nation to be selected.
And I called Gavin at like 1 in the morning, something crazy, and I never call him. And we were just so thrilled to even get the opportunity.
For these 4 friends, this is more than a performance.
We can see all of us, each other in a international stage perhaps, but it was more of like, we're friends, we just like, we enjoy what we do on the daily when we play together.
Because they inspire each other when they play. So for the conference, they plan to perform a piece written by one of their own members.
The festival has like kind of like a commission a piece with this theme, right, surrounding like Korean like culture.
As the performers are getting ready to take the stage this July, they tell me that their journey started here in these rehearsal rooms where they had long hours of practice and a shared passion for music. It hasn't been easy because of the late night rehearsals, but they say the journey will be worth it after it's all said and done, especially because they'll put the Central Valley on the map.
That's what's like really special about music is that, you know, it doesn't matter where you come from. You can just, we all celebrate. That's what is great about it.
From Fresno to the international stage, this quartet is proving just how far music can take them.
You can go on this summer with them simply by following their Instagram at Invicta_quartet. Back to you guys at the desk.
Students and staff at Fresno State are rolling up their sleeves this week for a cause that could save lives.
Paloma Schuler is live at the Mobile Blood Drive unit here on campus in the Memorial Gardens.
Thanks, guys. Well, right now I am here in front of the mobile unit blood drive. Now, it is past 4 p.m., so the truck just left us. But right now I'm here with 2 student coordinators. I have here Megan Garza and Daniela Ceja. Now, can you guys tell me, why is it important to have this blood drive here on campus?
Yeah, so the Central California Blood Center serves 1.9 million people, and that usually means they need to collect anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 pints of blood. And by us hosting this blood drive on campus, it's our way of kind of doing our part and helping them reach their goal.
And now, who's organizing this drive, and how has the response been so far?
Yeah, so the Richter Center for Community Engagement and Service Learning is based right here on campus, and we partner with the Central California Blood Center to host these blood drives twice a semester here on campus. And so far, the turnout has been really good.
That's really good. So if somebody wants to come out and give their blood, especially if they're first-timers or probably super nervous, I know I would be. So what would you tell those people?
I would say make sure to eat a good meal, drink lots of water, bring your ID, and make some time so you can go get your free Dutch Bros afterwards.
Yes, and on a bonus note, students who give their blood can get a free Dutch Brothers voucher and get a free Dutch drink. I'm Paloma Schuler here at the Memorial Gardens, live at Fresno State Focus.
Coming up in sports, the Diamond Dogs finally catching form at Pete Biden Field, how they got out of their losing streak.
Plus, Fresno State's powerlifting club is getting national recognition, where these strong men and women finished at a national competition.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit
deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I got that bulldog spirit.
Olivia Pavao here with your Focus on Sports. Fresno State softball is facing off against Stanford at home right now. The ladies are looking to keep their 2-game win streak alive. They're currently in the 4th inning, and the score is 11-1 Stanford. This midweek matchup will set the tone heading into this weekend, where the Dogs will head to New Mexico for a 3-game series against the Lobos. Last night, the Diamond Dogs dominated against Bakersfield for their 11th win of the season, and it was a slugfest. Coming off of a series of losses, the Dogs were ready for some action. It was a standoff, but the tide turned in the 7th inning after Sky Collins hit a 3-run homer. The Dogs won 10-6 after shutting the Roadrunners out of the last 3 innings. This weekend's series is against conference rival San Jose Spartans. And a former Diamond Dog has made his way to the MLB, Major League Bananas. Fresno State alum Grady Morgan is playing banana ball, the fastest growing baseball league in the world. Morgan was drafted by the Loco Beach Coconuts during the banana ball draft to play in the 2026 season. Morgan started all 62 games with the Diamond Dogs back in 2024, putting up 13 home runs and 58 RBIs. And the Fresno State Powerlifting Club is coming off a high after a great performance at Nationals in Salt Lake City. Just last week, the club put up top finishes against some of the best teams in the country. Resident lifter Romix Sevilla says his team is a great example of an underdog story.
They're not expecting smaller cities to be strong, nor are they expecting them to actually win things. So for Fresno to be able to represent Fresno and kind of show them, you know, we are still here, we are still fighting.
Fresno State placed 2nd overall in the men's division and 3rd on the women's side, with many lifters finishing near the top of their weight classes. The Fresno State men's basketball team gave back to the community last week, hosting a free youth basketball clinic on April 9th. Kids from across the Central Valley learned skills and fundamentals from Bulldog players and coaches. The clinic emphasized teamwork, confidence, and fun. Players like Deshaun Gorey, Jake Hydebrader, and Zion Collins led drills, while head coach Vance Wahlberg joined on court. From shooting to ball handling, players worked hands-on with kids throughout the event. That's your Focus on Sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Business students got the chance to speak with industry professionals this week. The Financial Opportunities and Careers for University Students Conference brought together local professionals and alumni for 2 days of panels. The event was put together by student-run Associate of Finance scholars. Organizers said they wanted business students to connect with local opportunities.
It's officially grad season. If you're looking to buy your grad regalia, now is the perfect time. Graduation caps and gowns are now being sold at the Kennel Bookstore. They are organized by department with individual department tassels and stoles.
Bachelors are going to run 40, masters are going to run 76, and it does include everything you're going to need to walk. We also sell stoles for $35 each. We have some college-specific ones, some other more general ones.
Don't wait too long to get your regalia. It'll be on sale through April 30th.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, we take a look at subsidized housing conflict in Lemoore.
Plus, we go to the Clovis Rodeo grounds to see what's new in the rodeo this year.
And we'll look into how many scooter crashes keep happening at Fresno State.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.